Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Worth Unlimited Agent Update and Sales Track Training for September 5th, 2017. This evening, what we are going to be going over is the 5 steps to success. Success equals money in your pocket in your first 30 days. Now, we've been doing a lot of training over the past few months talking about Sales Track, the first 6 lessons of Sales Track, your introduction, your 15-second commercial, who do you start with, qualifiers and tie-downs, litmus test, setting your first appointment in stone, personal and borrowed stories. These are your first 6 steps, and we want to remember that these 6 steps are literally about 10 to 15 minutes of conversation with a new prospect in recruiting or as an agent. So we've done all this training, and the question is, what do we do with them now? So the question is, where do I go from here? You started the conversation and you use those 6 steps, hopefully. You don't have to do those 6 steps in exact order. And what we found out is there's modification to those 6 steps depending on who it is that you're talking to. You have to make sure that your stories are relevant to what that individual is needing at the time, and that's where we really focus, is that idea of, if you give people what they really need, you'll get back more than you could ever hope for. The heart of a servant was part of our conversation in that. So in that conversation, I would also highlight that it's much more important for you to listen and key off of what that individual is saying back to you. Truly listen and design your presentation and design your information that you're giving them to what their needs are, to what is relevant to them. Now, once you've started that conversation, one of the big questions we get is, when do I make the shift to business? Well, the reality is, in some conversations, you'll never shift it to business in that first initial conversation. It may just be a meet and greet at a B&I. It may be somebody you met in a grocery store. But when you started that conversation where you're actually talking about the product, where you're actually giving out a personal and borrowed story, when you come to that place, the shift to business will be determined by the client, the prospect, the prospective recruit. And that will be something as simple as, well, can you tell me more about the business? Can you tell me more about the product? Can you tell me more about how that works? Can you tell me how viable this is as a solution for doing this at part-time work, doing this as a full-time job? How viable is this business? So the client will direct you when you're going to make that shift. The one thing that we do want to remember is that education of the client is primary when you're discussing this product, giving presentations. That doesn't mean, and I'm a firm believer in this, the client does not need to know everything you know. We can talk way too much. There's an old story about Samson in the Bible, and in the Bible he slew the entire Philistine army using one weapon. And the weapon that he used was the jawbone of an ass. And I'm here to tell you that more sales are destroyed every single day by the exact same weapon. You can talk yourself right out of a sale. It is important to listen, be relevant, and keep yourself on point. That's what Sales Track is about. It's kind of a checklist of different points that you want to go over, different items that you want to hit with these different concepts. The first 6, your introduction to your client. Financial literacy is something that so many people are lacking in America today. They've been programmed by the banks, lenders, mom and dad. Very archaic methodology is still utilized by a large portion of the financial sector, of individuals that are trying to move through this complicated financial landscape that we see ourselves in 2017. But technology has really come a long way. We have online banking. We have the ability to transfer funds online. All of this is very secure and encrypted. And I'm just saying this is the technology that's out there. But there's been a system out there for a long time that a lot of people don't know about, and that's the Worth account. And the Worth account, one of the things that I love about it is it truly begins to teach you about your finance and truly begins to teach you about money flow. I want to make sure that you understand that this isn't just about a business. If you get someone out of debt, if you show somebody relief and hope, you can change their life and change their life dramatically. I would ask every agent on the phone, if you sold one platinum deal per month, would it help you financially in your current situation? And the answer would be yes, regardless of what your current financial situation is. So we offer up in this that the idea, the concept is be a catalyst for change, not just in someone else's life as a prospective user of the program or not just in somebody else's life as a prospective client, but what about the catalyst for change in your own life? My father used to say something to me that your attitude determines your altitude. If you have this great information about a product that can cure, or we could say it is the answer for financial cancer, why wouldn't you want to tell everyone? And the reality is this, if you really had the cure for cancer, you would want to tell everybody you know. And so many people are out there suffering financially, and I truly believe this is the answer for financial cancer. We offer up the ability for an individual to have freedom from financial slavery. The debt and burden of finance has enslaved so many people in America because we have become a consumer nation. It's not to say that we don't produce anything here anymore, and we're getting more and more production out of the green environment, technology with using different methodologies to power vehicles, electric, natural gas. We're even seeing the use of algae being used as a conductive property for electricity. We're seeing a lot of solar energy come out on the market. This landscape is changing, and the financial landscape is changing as well. And it's very hard to keep up with that technology, but our program is constantly developed, and we'll keep up with that technology. And as it stands right now, this program does the job, and everything that we do is digital. So what are we really talking about? We're talking about the fact that you have something in your hands that can promote, create, and sustain life change. Now, I don't know many products out there that can make that boast, but our boast is proven with our clients paying off over $1 billion in principal and banking over $88 million in cash savings. That's nothing to laugh about. Those are huge numbers when you think about that. When we're talking about the private sector, the individual is the person that's involved in those numbers. I'll tell you right now, you sit down in front of a single mom or a single dad that's working 2 jobs to support the kids. They're barely making it. They've got a 28 or 29-year mortgage still sitting in front of them after getting a 30-year mortgage, or maybe they've got 25 years remaining. And you run a free analysis for these individuals, and you come back and tell them they'll be debt-free in 11, 10, 9, 8 years, and they'll save anywhere from 40 to, I mean, the numbers, the sky's the limit to whatever their debt load is. I've seen reports come back where people are saving over $800,000 in future interest, and I've seen analysis reports come back where individuals are, saving $40,000, $50,000 in interest. So it is across a broad spectrum of individuals that can utilize the product for their own personal need. But for a moment, think about how this could be an added value or the value proposition that would be involved with businesses that are already doing business in the arena of financial services, CPA, tax accountants, mortgage brokers, loan officers, bank presidents, how this could come alongside, since all of the systems are already set up, how this could come alongside what they are currently doing in business, and with their current focus, this could be a complement to what they're doing. And since all the systems are already set up for them, there really isn't much of a learning curve. So you're offering a very strong value proposition to people that are already operating in these arenas. So where do we go from here? I'll tell you exactly where we go from here. We go directly to Success Track, the 5 steps of success. Step number 1 is your self-training. Step number 2 is run your own personal analysis. Step number 3 is your prospect list. Step number 4 is several appointments each week. And step number 5 is, if you do this, if you follow this process, that should equate to 4 sales by the end of a month, and that's success in 30 days. Don't hesitate on this. Don't wait around for somebody else to do it for you, for somebody else to be successful. There's a quote that says, don't wait for leaders to appear. Be the leader yourself. There's another quote that says, why take the path that has already been taken out? Set your own path. Set your own course. Don't wait for somebody to lead you down a path. If the path is not clear, then set your own path. In the case of our company and our company's culture, the path is very clear. With Sales Track, 5 steps to success. I will promise you, if you can set up several appointments a week, you will close 4 deals by the end of a month. But you have to go into action. So let's look at step 1, which is self-training. Within your first 24 hours of joining the company, you should watch the prospective client videos, which is 30 minutes of video. You can see them down there at the bottom. And there's a total of 3 videos that you have to watch. They're very informative, and I believe that you should watch them anyway before you ever send them out to someone, so you know exactly what they saw, exactly what they watched. So when they have questions for you, you can come back and answer those questions. The other thing that I love about our 30 minutes of client videos is there's a tracking system with those. So if you put a client on to watching those videos, you can tell when they turned on the video and when they turned it off. If they watched video 1, 2, and 3, or just video 2, you can see what day they watched them and how much of the video they actually watched. Now, you don't necessarily have to tell the client that you have a tracking system, but it's a great way to find out who you're dealing with. And I just want to put it in this context. If somebody tells you they watched all 3 videos and your video tracker says that they didn't watch any, I think that's going to tell you a little bit about your prospective client or your prospective recruit. In that step 1 of self-training, you want to watch the agent training videos, and I'm just going to use my cursor. They're on your agent portal, and they're right here. Under agent training videos, you can see my little cursor moving there. I know, that sounds like a lot, 3 hours of videos, but you can knock that out in a week. There is no CE that's involved with this where you're going to have to take a quiz at the end of it. But get your prospective client videos watched and get yourself trained done. Whoever mentored you in the process, whoever brought you into the company should have already done this. And if you have questions, you have 2 options. You can contact the individual that brought you into the company, or you can contact agent support if you have questions in regards to that. And as you all know, I am always available by phone as well as email to answer any questions that you may have. So make sure you get your training done and do it on your own. That's your first step, your first initiative, taking the initiative towards your success. Step 2, personal analysis. Run your own personal analysis. Now, the analysis comes out in 2 pages. There's a lot of detailed information there. I don't suggest you just make up numbers. If you have no debt, the reality is you probably don't need to purchase the program, but you should become familiar with how to run an analysis. So if you don't have any debt, then what I would suggest is calling up a friend and saying, you know, I'm coming into this company, I'm brand new, I have to practice running analysis so I know what pitfalls I'll run into in front of clients, so I become proficient at running these analysis. Would you mind if I practice on you? I would do this with coworkers, I would do it with family. That's where most people start. And people that know you already will be a lot more forgiving if you make a mistake, if you hesitate a little bit, if you stumble a little bit on the analysis. That's why we tell you to run your own first. But if you don't have your own to run, reach out to people that you already know and let them know you need some help. What I've come to find out in my career is that if you ask people for help, they are more than willing to help you. And you would be shocked how many people will see the results of the analysis and go, can you tell me more about this? We want you to do this within the first 48 hours of you signing up with the company. At least get your personal analysis done or get someone else's analysis done that you know. Step 3 is your sales funnel. What we call this is your top 25 list. Create your top 25 prospect list. So many people are afraid to talk to friends and family and neighbors and things of this nature. Just go through your cell phone. Most people nowadays have 25 contacts in their cell phone. If you can't do, if you think you're having a tough way. But as Joan has brought up before and Darlene has brought up and we've brought up on the calls before, when you write your top 25, I want to go a step further. I would get out a pencil and a piece of paper. That's me. That's the way I operate. Get out if you're a computer guy or a computer individual. Get out your Excel spreadsheet. Get out a Word document. And I want you to write down every person you know. I don't want you to make the choice of who gets this information and who doesn't. Many times we think of a name or see a name, oh, they wouldn't care about that. Oh, that wouldn't be important to them. Oh, I feel embarrassed talking to that individual about this. Let's go back to the answer for financial cancer. Why would you make that determination for someone else? Why would you do that? What I want you to do is write out a list of every single name you know, every contact you know. I don't care if it's your barber, the person you know at the grocery store, the person at the hair salon, the person at the gym that's your trainer, your kids, high school, junior high school, elementary school, teachers, the principal from the last school your kids were in, the dean of the university that your kids go to, your boss at your current employment. Share this information with everybody. Write down a list of every name you know, every email you know, and every phone number you know, and then once you've done that, go back and categorize them as hot, warm, and potentially cold. And out of that hot list, pick your top 25 and do that. What we want you to do is to add them to your back office and start calling them to set up appointments. With the sales funnel, this is a real concept that's not just generated by us. The first thing is making somebody aware that there is a product out there that can help them. The second thing is interaction with that individual. The third thing is gleaning their interest, getting them to, as we mentioned, willingly want to move forward. You don't want to convince anyone that this is the right thing for them, but that doesn't mean you don't use sales technique, you don't ask broad, open-ended questions, you don't have good responses prepared that you're ready to give to individuals. There is sales involved in this, but you don't want to bend somebody's arm and convince them this is the way to go. And then the fourth part of that sales funnel is moving them from awareness to action, to taking action with the information that they now have. Step 4 is prospect introduction. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can do this, but what we're really referring to is use the three-way call. The three-way call is more powerful than many people give it credit for. If you've been in sales for a long time, you know the power of the three-way call. And what that power is first thing I want to tell you is if you're dealing with a prospective agent or a prospective client and you need to make that three-way call, I have agents that are contacting me now that are calling me to do the three-way call from the person's living room. Now, this needs to be typically during business hours, but I will take some calls after business hours on my cell phone. But here's what you need to do if you're going to do this. If you're going to use your sponsor, which is who I suggest, remember, the expert is that third person on the phone, the person that you are bringing into the conversation with you and your prospective purchaser, user of the product, or your prospective recruit. I want to be very clear on this. Don't get on the phone with that third person and start edifying your prospect. What you want to do is, before you ever make that call, edify the person you're calling. If you're calling me, tell your prospect, you know what? This guy is the National Sales and Training Director. He's been with this company for 15 years. He knows more about the product than anybody else globally. If it is your sponsor, this is the person that recruited me into the business. They've seen great success with this. They can answer some questions potentially that I can't answer. This is a person I trust. This is a person with integrity. They follow the model of the company, which is built around culture, helping people, heart of a servant. If we can get this person on the phone right now, they're usually very busy, and that comes with me or your sponsor. They're usually very busy, but I can assure you, if I reach out to them, I'm either going to get a text right back saying that they're busy and can get with us, when they can, and we can set that up. But I'm going to go ahead and make a shot at giving them a call right now. And if they're available, they'll take the time to talk to you. What you're trying to build up is getting that third person on the phone is a big deal. That this is the authority. This is the individual that is the expert in the industry. This is the person that brought me into the company. And I want to get them on the phone just to make an introduction that you're looking at the program for yourself, or you're looking at becoming a prospective agent of the company, or you're looking at doing both. This is a very powerful resource. One of your prospects, if you're doing cold calls or individuals, hey, Mike, I'm helping people eliminate debt and build wealth. Would you speak with my partner for 15 to 20 minutes to see if this could be of interest to you? I don't know that I'd use 15 to 20 minutes. This is what Sam Skaggs does with every single agent. This exact piece right here. Hi, Mike. I'm helping people eliminate debt and build wealth. Would you speak with my partner for 15 to 20 minutes to see if this could be of interest to you? It's very easy. It's very simple. It's a good way to do your cold calls. It's a good way to talk. Don't talk too much. We will find out as you go into this process, less is more. I'll tell you right now, the more you talk, the more questions you're going to raise in the client's head, the more salesy it's going to be, the more the agent or prospective agent or prospective client is going to feel like they're trying to be sold. And that is not what we want to put across. What we want to put across is that we have a product that can affect change in your life, and we want to serve you. So you tell me what it is you need, and then that is what I am going to fulfill for you. You don't have to know everything right now, just how to effectively repeat this statement, or just how effectively to build up your sponsor or whoever you're using for the three-way call, so that when you get in that three-way call, that individual feels like this is a special event and that they're speaking to an expert. This can turn the tide. You can use this exact same procedure when you're trying to close a deal. If you've gone through the process, you're not getting where you need to be, maybe it's time to bring in a third person. Maybe it's time to use the closers at the corporate office. If you're brand new, I do suggest that you use an outside closer, and I don't care what business you've been in before. This product is unique, and the sales process is quite unique compared to anything I've ever sold in my life. And one of the key factors in this is gaining the client's trust. And that three-way call helps to build your credibility and helps to instill a sense of confidence in that individual and a sense of trust in that individual, and that they truly matter. So what is step 5? Get paid. 4 sales in 30 days and an active and productive team. People, I need you to understand this. Those of you that know me know how passionate I am about this product, know that I've stayed with this company for 15 years because I have seen the results of agents that have come on board and go to work, the money that they can make. I've seen those results. We, in 2006, started out with just 4 guys in a room. By 2008, we had 70,000 agents nationally, and it had a corporate value of $550 million. Now it's the agent side. But I saw the personal stories of individuals that saw great success in just using the product. People that came back and told me, Mac, you ran my analysis in 9.5 years. I've only been on the program for 6 months, and it's telling me I'll be paid off in 7 years. What begins to happen is people get inside this program, they begin to understand it, and they begin to play with it and say, where could I cut back a little bit so I can apply more money to this debt elimination? The reality is this: if you have no debt, you are not a slave to debt. If we talk about the word mortgage in Latin means death pledge, or until death is the meaning. Now that is terribly deflating to the average consumer if you let them know that their mortgage is a death pledge. And the sad thing is most people don't see a way out. They don't see a way out of that 30-year mortgage. And you know what's really sad? Is young adults are coming out of college today with $50,000 to $185,000 worth of student debt. I mean, that's just astronomical. That's mind-blowing. How do you start off a life and buy a home when you're $50,000 in debt walking out the door from college? This has become ridiculous. We have to take control of this. We have to offer a viable solution to the public that they are not trapped by their debt. They are not stuck. This is not an endless road, an endless train track with no light at the end of the tunnel. And the light at the end of a tunnel, in this case, is not the train coming to run over top of you. It's hope. It's relief. It's the idea and the concept that still in today's marketplace, you can be affluent. You can rise above. You can change your station. You can change your financial situation. We can be the catalyst for change in so many people's lives. But what it's going to take from each and every one of you is action and sharing this information with other people. So what do? We just follow those 5 steps, and we rinse and repeat with every agent we meet, every prospect we repeat, and we duplicate the system over and over again. I am more excited about this program today than I was excited about it back in 2007 and 2008. And that is saying a lot, because anyone that ever saw me on the stage with this program knows that I was just on fire for this, and I have never lost the passion and the belief in this system, and I've never lost the passion and belief in this company. Make no mistake about it. This company is in it for the long haul. This company's owners are passionate about what they did. They created this system, and they're not about to let it go. Now it's up to you all to take advantage of the opportunity. Talk to everyone you know. Get out there. Get your hair on fire. Find your why. Find your passion and put that into action. This is Mac Saunders with Worth Unlimited and the Agent Update and Sales Track Training for September 5th, 2017. I want to thank everyone for joining us, and have a wonderful day. All right, I didn't get off of the call. I just ended the recording, so let me answer a couple questions. Okay, Devender wants to know, I am an agent and would like to know how I can create an agent account and start my personal analysis. Devender, who was the person that recruited you into the company? Go ahead and type that name in. Devender, if you're still there, please type that name in. Devender, you're going to have to contact agent support in that context with who you're with, what you put on there. So do contact agent support. And the phone number for agent support is 877-576-5563. And then you can ask to speak directly to me. And my name is Mac Saunders. And let's see. And Devendra, the answer to your second question, can you share different plans and costs associated with each plan that customers can choose? The program determines the plan that they qualify for. So the cost of the program is determined on their savings analysis report. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We did finish it right at 1:15. This has been recorded. This will be posted to YouTube. And I just want to thank everybody that's participated in the calls over the past several months. The last 3 calls have been run by me. The last 2 calls, this call, the call just last week. And then please remember, please send out emails to old agents, send them out to friends, send them out to people that are business partners or B&I group, people in mortgage and finance, and let them know that there will be an introduction presentation of the Worth Account program. Please remember that we're going to be reviewing the A-Lock in that, and we're going to put some sizzle back in that presentation for you. And if I get a good response from that, I may just post that presentation to the agent portal as one of the presentations that you will have at your disposal to put a little bit of sizzle back into that state and really wrap people's mind around using other people's money in order to be successful. I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. Hope you have a wonderful evening. Let's get out there and do it big. Let's get out there and do it right. But at the very least, let's get out there and do something right now. This is Max Saunders saying bye-bye for now.